Have you ever stopped to wonder why, despite your greatest efforts, some things seem to remain just out of reach? You work tirelessly, pouring your heart and soul into your goals, yet it feels like the universe is withholding the very thing you desire most. The frustration mounts, the questions linger, and somewhere deep inside you begin to wonder if you're being tested, punished, or even ignored. But what if I told you that the very act of striving, of forcing and demanding is what's keeping your blessings at bay? What if the answer lies not in doing more, but in stepping back and allowing? Throughout history, we see a pattern of divine timing that transcends human understanding. The scriptures speak of a season for everything, a time to plant and a time to harvest. Yet in our modern lives, we often forget that the waiting is as sacred as the action. When we force things out of their natural rhythm, we disrupt the delicate balance of creation. We attempt to wrest control from the hands of God, unaware that His plan far exceeds our limited understanding. Think of the farmer who sows his seed. He does not dig up the soil every morning to check if the roots are growing. He trusts the process. He knows that the sun will rise, the rains will come, and in due time the seed will sprout into a bountiful harvest. Can you imagine the chaos if the farmer tried to rush nature's work? The seed would be destroyed, and the harvest would never come. Could it be that our lives work in the same way? Could it be that the very thing we long for requires patience and trust to bloom in its season? Pause for a moment and reflect. What is it that you are forcing in your life? A relationship? A career breakthrough? A dream that seems so close, yet remains elusive? How much energy have you spent trying to force outcomes, bending and twisting circumstances to fit your timeline? And how has that worked out for you? More often than not, the results of our forceful efforts leave us feeling exhausted, disillusioned, and further away from the peace and fulfillment we seek. The truth is, forcing anything goes against the very fabric of how the universe operates. Creation itself is an act of effortless alignment. Consider the birds in the sky. They do not labor or stress about where their next meal will come from. They trust the unseen hand of provision. The lilies of the field do not toil to become beautiful, they simply are. If God so perfectly orchestrates the rhythm of nature, how much more care has He taken in designing the rhythm of your life? When we push too hard, we create resistance. We may think we are taking control, but in reality we are stepping out of alignment with the divine flow. The very act of forcing is an admission of doubt that what we desire is possible, doubt that we are worthy of receiving it, and doubt in the timing of God's perfect plan. But here's the good news: you don't have to force what is already meant for you. What is yours by divine right will find its way to you effortlessly and in its own time. Imagine standing in a river, trying to direct its current with your hands. The water resists, flowing around you unbothered by your efforts. But when you let go and allow yourself to float, the river carries you effortlessly to its destination. Life works the same way. The harder you try to control it, the more resistance you encounter. But when you trust, when you release your grip and allow, you are carried by a current far more powerful and wise than your own. So, my friend, let me ask you this: what would happen if you stopped forcing and started trusting? What miracles might unfold if you chose to believe that everything you desire is already on its way to you? What peace might you find in surrendering to the divine plan? Perhaps it's time to let go of the struggle and rest in the assurance that what is yours will come not by your might, but by the grace of God. And as we move forward, I want to share with you 7 powerful insights, 7 key points that will help you understand why forcing is unnecessary and how you can align yourself with the natural flow of life. These principles will transform the way you see your challenges, your dreams, and even your waiting. So stay with me as we dive into these life-changing truths. Trusting in divine timing requires a shift in how we view time and our place within it. Often, we are conditioned to believe that success, love, or any form of fulfillment must adhere to the timelines we set. Yet what if those self-imposed deadlines are not aligned with the greater wisdom of the universe? Divine timing operates on a scale far beyond human understanding, interweaving countless factors and events to bring about the best possible outcome, not just for us, but for the larger picture that we cannot always see. Consider the story of Joseph in the scriptures, sold into slavery by his own brothers, falsely accused, and imprisoned. Joseph had every reason to feel abandoned and hopeless. Yet, through it all, he trusted that his suffering was not without purpose. Years passed before he saw the fruit of his patience. But when the time came, he was elevated to a position of power that not only redeemed him but also saved an entire nation. Imagine if Joseph had forced his way out of his struggles, trying to escape before the appointed time. He would have missed the divine orchestration that turned his trials into triumphs. Trusting in divine timing does not mean passively waiting or doing nothing. It means acting with faith and purpose while releasing the need to control outcomes. It's about planting seeds, nurturing them, and trusting that they will grow when the conditions are right. Just as a farmer cannot rush the growth of a crop, you cannot rush the manifestation of your dreams. When you trust the timing, you align yourself with the natural flow of life, removing resistance and opening the door for blessings to come effortlessly. The challenge lies in the waiting. Waiting can feel like a void, a space where doubt and fear creep in, whispering that nothing will happen, that we've been forgotten. But waiting is not a void, it is a sacred space where transformation occurs. Think of a caterpillar in its cocoon. To the outside world, it appears still, lifeless even. But inside, a miraculous process is unfolding, turning a simple creature into a butterfly capable of flight. Could it be that your waiting season is your cocoon, a space where God is preparing you for what lies ahead? What helps in trusting divine timing is understanding that delay is not denial. A delay may simply mean that more preparation is needed, in you or in the circumstances around you. Perhaps the job you're praying for requires skills you haven't yet developed. Maybe the relationship you desire cannot come into your life until both you and the other person are ready to grow together. Trusting the timing means trusting that the delays are working for you, not against you. To trust divine timing, you must release your attachment to how and when things should happen. Let go of the need to micromanage every detail and instead focus on aligning your actions with faith and gratitude. Remind yourself that what is meant for you cannot miss you, and what misses you was never meant for you. This mindset not only brings peace, but also allows you to move forward with clarity and purpose, unburdened by the weight of unmet expectations. Reflect on this. Are you resisting divine timing because you fear losing control? What if the very thing you're resisting is the key to unlocking the blessings you seek? Trusting divine timing is an act of faith that says, I may not understand the plan, but I trust the planner. It's a faith that allows you to rest, knowing that everything is unfolding exactly as it should. The need to control is rooted in fear of the unknown, fear of failure, fear that if we don't take charge, everything will fall apart. Yet the truth is that control is often an illusion. No matter how much effort we exert, we cannot force the sun to rise faster, the rain to fall on command, or the tides to turn before their time. Letting go of control is not about giving up. It's about recognizing that some things are beyond our power and trusting that what is meant to be will come to pass. When you hold on too tightly, you create resistance. Imagine clutching a handful of sand. The tighter your grip, the more the sand slips through your fingers. The same principle applies to life. The more you try to control every aspect of your journey, the more you push away the very outcomes you desire. Letting go is not a sign of weakness, it's a sign of wisdom. It's understanding that true power lies in surrender. Surrender does not mean inaction. It means releasing the anxiety and fear that come with trying to control outcomes, and instead focusing on what you can control: your thoughts, your attitude, and your actions. When you let go, you make room for God's plans to unfold. You shift from a mindset of scarcity to one of abundance, trusting that the universe is conspiring in your favor. Think of the story of Moses leading the Israelites to the Red Sea. Trapped between the sea and Pharaoh's army, the situation seemed impossible. But instead of trying to control the circumstances, Moses trusted God and stretched out his hand. The sea parted and a path appeared where none had existed before. Could it be that the path to your breakthrough is waiting for you to let go and trust? Letting go requires faith, a faith that says, I don't need to have all the answers because I trust the one who does. It's about releasing the need to know every detail and embracing the mystery of the journey. It's about finding peace in the process, even when the destination is unclear. Ask yourself, what are you holding on to so tightly that it's causing you stress, anxiety, or frustration? A relationship that isn't working? A goal that feels out of reach? What might happen if you loosened your grip? If you allowed things to unfold naturally? Letting go doesn't mean you stop caring, it means you stop worrying. It means you trust that what is meant for you will come in its own time, in its own way, and that it will be better than anything you could have forced into existence. When you let go of control, you free yourself from the chains of fear and doubt. You step into a space of trust and alignment where miracles become possible. You discover that the less you force, the more you flow, and in that flow you find the peace, joy, and fulfillment that you've been seeking all along. Too often we fixate on what we want to have, overlooking the importance of who we need to become to receive it. We yearn for success, for love, for recognition, yet fail to ask the most crucial question, am I ready for what I am asking for? The truth is, life rarely gives us what we desire, it gives us what we are prepared to handle. Focusing on becoming means shifting your energy from outward pursuits to inward transformation. It is about aligning your inner world with the reality you want to experience. Think of a vessel designed to hold water. If the vessel is cracked or unsteady, it cannot fulfill its purpose. In the same way, you cannot hold the blessings you seek if you are not prepared to sustain them. This preparation is not about perfection, but about growth, about becoming the kind of person who naturally attracts the outcomes they desire. If you want abundance, you must develop a mindset of abundance. If you want love, you must cultivate self-love. If you want success, you must become disciplined, focused, and resilient. The process of becoming requires self-awareness and honesty. It invites you to look inward and identify the areas where you need to grow. Are there habits, beliefs, or patterns holding you back? Are you clinging to fear, doubt, or resentment? Becoming is not about forcing yourself to change. It is about allowing transformation to happen naturally as you align with your higher self. It's a journey of uncovering who you truly are beneath the layers of conditioning and limitation. The scriptures remind us that as a man thinks in his heart, so is he. This profound truth emphasizes the power of your inner world. Your thoughts, beliefs, and emotions shape your reality. If you focus solely on external goals without addressing your internal state, you will find yourself caught in a cycle of frustration. True change begins within. When you shift your thoughts from lack to abundance, from fear to faith, and from doubt to trust, you begin to align with the life you desire. Becoming is not an overnight process. It is a journey that requires patience and dedication. Think of a sculptor chiseling away at a block of marble. Each strike of the hammer reveals a little more of the masterpiece hidden within. In the same way, every challenge you face, every lesson you learn, and every step you take is shaping you into the person you are meant to be. Could it be that the delays and struggles you experience are not obstacles but tools in the hands of the master sculptor? As you focus on becoming, you shift your energy from desperation to empowerment. You stop chasing what you want and start attracting it effortlessly. Why? Because when you become the kind of person who is aligned with your desires, those desires flow to you naturally. The process of becoming is not about doing more, it's about being more. It's about embodying the qualities, values, and energy that resonate with the reality you want to create. Take a moment to reflect. Who do you need to become to manifest your dreams? What qualities, habits, or beliefs do you need to develop? Remember, the journey of becoming is not about perfection, it's about progress. Each small step you take toward growth brings you closer to your goals. Trust the process, embrace the journey, and know that as you focus on becoming, everything you seek is already on its way to you. Resistance is a silent force that often goes unnoticed, but can have a profound impact on our lives. It shows up as frustration, anxiety, or an overwhelming sense of struggle. The harder you push, the more resistance pushes back. creating a cycle that leaves you drained and defeated. Recognizing resistance is the first step toward breaking free from its grip. It is about becoming aware of the ways in which your own energy may be working against you. Resistance is often born out of fear. Fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of the unknown. It manifests in the form of self-doubt, procrastination, or an obsessive need for control. The harder you try to force something, the more resistance you create, like swimming upstream against a powerful current. The key to overcoming resistance is not to fight harder, but to let go, to release the struggle and allow the current to carry you. Think of resistance as a signal. When you encounter resistance, it is often a sign that you are out of alignment with your true self or the flow of divine timing. It is not an obstacle to be overcome, but a message to be understood. What is the resistance trying to tell you? Are you pursuing something that is not meant for you? Are you holding on to beliefs or habits that no longer serve you? Recognizing resistance is about pausing, listening, and recalibrating your approach. Resistance can also be a sign that you are attached to a specific outcome. When you cling too tightly to how things should unfold, you close yourself off to the infinite possibilities that life has to offer. Letting go of attachment does not mean giving up on your dreams. It means trusting that the universe knows the best way to bring them to fruition. It means staying open to the unexpected, knowing that what comes your way may be even better than what you had planned. In recognizing resistance, you also become aware of the stories you tell yourself. These stories often fuel the resistance, keeping you stuck in patterns of fear and doubt. I'm not good enough. It's too late for me. What if I fail? These narratives create mental and emotional blocks that prevent you from moving forward. But here's the truth. Resistance loses its power the moment you shine a light on it. When you acknowledge the fears and doubts that fuel your resistance, you take the first step toward dissolving them. Ask yourself, where in your life are you encountering resistance? Is it in a relationship, a career goal, or a personal dream? What would happen if you stopped fighting and started flowing? Recognizing resistance is not about blaming yourself or others. It is about taking responsibility for your energy and aligning it with your higher purpose. When you release resistance, you step into a space of ease and flow. You discover that the very things you were chasing begin to chase you. You stop struggling against the current and allow yourself to be carried by the rhythm of life. Recognizing resistance is not a one-time event. It is a practice, a daily commitment to tuning into your inner world and aligning with the flow of divine grace. Patience is often misunderstood as passivity, a quiet and helpless waiting for things to happen. But true patience is an active force, a deliberate choice to trust the process while maintaining unwavering faith. It is the strength to stand firm in the face of uncertainty, knowing that what is meant for you will arrive in its perfect time. Practicing patience is not about doing nothing. It's about doing the right things with the right mindset, while allowing life to unfold at its own divine pace. Consider the metaphor of a seed planted in fertile soil. The seed does not grow into a towering tree overnight. It goes through an invisible transformation beneath the surface, its roots digging deep before the first sprout emerges. Patience is the act of tending to that soil, watering it with faith, and nurturing it with action, even when there is no visible sign of growth. The greatest blessings often require the longest preparation, and patience is what keeps you aligned during that preparation. Yet patience is one of the hardest virtues to cultivate. In a world driven by instant gratification, where answers are just a click away and success is often glamorized as overnight, waiting can feel unbearable. We become restless, questioning whether our efforts are in vain or if we're even on the right path. But patience reminds us that life's most valuable treasures, whether they are relationships, dreams, or personal growth, cannot be rushed. They demand time, effort, and trust in something greater than ourselves. Practicing patience begins with understanding that waiting is not wasted time. It is a season of preparation, a period where you are being refined for what lies ahead. Reflect on the trials you've faced in your life. How many of those challenges were not mere delays, but opportunities to grow stronger, wiser, or more compassionate? What if the waiting is where the real work is done? What if it's in the waiting that your character is built and your purpose revealed? Patience also requires perspective. When you zoom out from the immediacy of your circumstances and look at the bigger picture, you begin to see how every delay, detour, and setback has played a role in shaping your journey. Think of a master artist painting a masterpiece. Up close, the brush strokes may appear chaotic and random. But step back, and the beauty of the whole becomes clear. Your life is much the same, a masterpiece in progress, where every stroke, every pause serves a purpose. Patience is deeply tied to faith. It is the willingness to release control and trust in the timing of God's plan. Often our impatience stems from fear. Fear that what we desire will never come to pass. Fear that we are running out of time. Or fear that we are being overlooked. But patience silences those fears with the assurance that God's timing is always perfect. What is meant for you will not miss you, and what misses you was never meant for you. One of the most powerful aspects of patience is its ability to shift your focus from the outcome to the journey. When you practice patience, you learn to find joy in the process rather than constantly striving for the destination. You begin to notice the small blessings along the way, the lessons learned, the growth achieved, the people who walk beside you. Patience teaches you that the journey itself is a gift, not just a means to an end. However, patience does not mean complacency. It is not a passive resignation to circumstances, but an active engagement with the present. Practicing patience involves taking consistent, meaningful steps toward your goals while trusting that the results will come at the right time. It's about balancing action with surrender, doing your part while allowing the universe to do its part. Just as a farmer cannot control the weather but can tend to his crops, you cannot control the timing of your blessings but can prepare yourself to receive them. Think of the story of David in the scriptures. Anointed as king at a young age, David did not ascend to the throne immediately. Instead, he spent years tending sheep, facing battles, and enduring trials that seemed far removed from his destiny. Yet each experience prepared him for the role he was destined to play. Imagine if David had grown impatient, trying to force his way to the throne before the appointed time. He would have missed the growth, wisdom, and strength that came through the waiting. Could it be that your waiting season is doing the same for you? Patience also fosters resilience. When you practice patience, you develop the ability to endure hardships without losing hope. You learn to stand firm in the face of disappointment, trusting that every setback is setting you up for a greater comeback. Patience strengthens your spirit, teaching you to persevere when the road is long and the path unclear. It reminds you that the strongest trees are those that have weathered the fiercest storms. Ask yourself, where in your life do you need to practice patience? Is it in a dream that feels out of reach? A relationship that is testing your endurance? Or perhaps in your own personal growth, where progress seems painfully slow? Patience is not easy, but it is worth it. It allows you to move forward with peace, knowing that you are exactly where you need to be. It frees you from the need to rush and allows you to trust that everything is unfolding according to a divine plan. As you embrace patience, you will find that the very act of waiting transforms you. It deepens your faith, sharpens your perspective, and prepares you for the blessings that are to come. You begin to see waiting not as a burden, but as a gift, a sacred space where the seeds of your dreams take root and grow. Trust the process, trust the timing, and trust that the wait is never wasted. Patience is not just a virtue, it is a gateway to peace, growth, and fulfillment. Faith in abundance is more than just optimism. It is a deep-rooted belief that the universe, guided by God's hand, is inherently abundant and generous. It is the understanding that there is enough for everyone and that scarcity is a construct of fear, not reality. When you have faith in abundance, you let go of the anxiety that drives you to chase, hoard, or fear losing what you desire. Instead, you align yourself with a mindset that attracts blessings effortlessly. Abundance is not merely about material wealth. It encompasses all aspects of life: love, peace, opportunities, joy, and spiritual fulfillment. Yet so many of us live as though there isn't enough to go around. We cling to the belief that we must fight for what we want, as though success for someone else diminishes our own chances. This mindset creates a sense of lack that blocks us from receiving the blessings that are meant for us. Faith in abundance, however, allows you to break free from this cycle and live with trust and confidence in God's provision. Think of the story of the Israelites wandering in the wilderness. When God provided manna from heaven, He instructed them to gather only what they needed for the day, promising that there would always be enough for tomorrow. Yet some of them, driven by fear, tried to hoard the manna, only to find it spoiled the next day. The lesson is clear. Abundance is not something we need to hoard or force. It flows continuously when we trust in its source. Having faith in abundance begins with recognizing that you are not the source of your blessings, God is. The universe is constantly working to fulfill your needs, often in ways you cannot predict or understand. But when you cling to scarcity, you close yourself off to these blessings. You become so focused on what you lack that you fail to see the opportunities, resources, and support that are already around you. Faith in abundance shifts your focus from lack to gratitude, opening your eyes to the countless ways you are already being provided for. Gratitude is the cornerstone of an abundant mindset. When you take time to appreciate what you have, you send a powerful message to the universe that you trust in its generosity. Gratitude creates a cycle of abundance. The more you recognize your blessings, the more blessings you attract. It's like tuning into a radio frequency. When you align yourself with the frequency of abundance, you naturally draw in more of it. Could it be that the blessings you seek are already within reach, waiting for you to recognize and embrace them? Faith in abundance also involves releasing the fear of loss. So often we hold back from pursuing our dreams or giving generously because we are afraid of losing what we have. But abundance is not a zero-sum game. The more you give, the more you receive. Think of a flowing river. When it is allowed to flow freely, it nourishes everything in its path. But when it is dammed up, it becomes stagnant. Your faith in abundance allows the blessings in your life to flow freely, multiplying as they go. Another powerful aspect of faith in abundance is trusting that what is meant for you cannot be taken by anyone else. This eliminates the need for competition or comparison. Instead of envying others for their success, you can celebrate it, knowing that their blessings do not diminish your own. God's provision is limitless. Just as there is no shortage of sunlight or air, there is no shortage of opportunities, love, or resources. Your blessings are uniquely yours, and no one else can claim them. To cultivate faith in abundance, start by examining your beliefs about scarcity. Where do you feel there isn't enough in your life? Is it money, time, love, or opportunities? Ask yourself, are these feelings based on reality or fear? Often the scarcity we perceive is a reflection of our inner state rather than our external circumstances. By shifting your mindset from fear to faith, you begin to see the world through the lens of abundance, transforming both your thoughts and your reality. Faith in abundance also requires patience. Sometimes the blessings we seek take time to manifest, and during that waiting period, it's easy to fall back into doubt or fear. But remember, just because you don't see the harvest yet doesn't mean the seeds haven't been planted. Trust that every effort you make, every act of kindness, and every prayer you offer is adding to a storehouse of blessings that will unfold in due time. Faith in abundance is the assurance that the universe is working behind the scenes, even when you cannot see the results. Imagine living your life with the unshakable belief that there is always enough. How would that change your choices, your relationships, your dreams? Faith in abundance frees you from the fear that holds you back. It allows you to take risks, to give generously, and to pursue your passions with confidence. It transforms your life from one of striving and scarcity to one of peace and fulfillment. Faith in abundance is not just a belief, it's a practice. It's a daily commitment to trust in God's provision, to focus on gratitude, and to release fear. It's about letting go of the need to control everything and trusting that you are supported by a loving and abundant universe. When you cultivate this faith, you step into a flow of blessings that exceed anything you could have forced into existence. You discover that abundance is not something you chase, it's something you align with. So as you move forward in your journey, ask yourself, are you living from a place of abundance or scarcity? Are you focusing on what you lack or what you already have? Faith in abundance is a powerful force that can transform every aspect of your life. It invites you to trust, to give, and to receive with an open heart, knowing that the universe is endlessly abundant and that what is meant for you will never pass you by. So often we become so fixated on future goals and dreams that we forget to appreciate the beauty of the present moment. We tell ourselves, I'll be happy when I achieve this, or I'll celebrate when I reach that milestone. But what if the present, the here and now, is just as important, if not more so, than the destination? Celebrating the present is not about settling or giving up on your aspirations. It's about finding joy and gratitude in the journey. It's about acknowledging that this moment, however imperfect it may seem, is a vital part of your story. Life is not lived in the grand achievements or in the distant future. It is lived in the small, seemingly insignificant moments that make up your day. The laughter of a loved one, the warmth of the sun on your skin, the feeling of accomplishment after a small task, these are the moments that often go unnoticed when our minds are preoccupied with what's ahead. Yet these moments are what give life its richness and meaning. When you celebrate the present, you open your heart to the blessings that are already around you. Celebrating the present begins with gratitude. Gratitude is a powerful practice that shifts your focus from lack to abundance. It allows you to see the good in your life, even in the midst of challenges. When you take a moment to count your blessings, no matter how small, you invite more joy and positivity into your life. Gratitude is like a lens. It doesn't change the circumstances themselves, but it changes how you see them. Suddenly, the things you once took for granted become sources of profound appreciation. Think of a parent watching their child grow. The milestones, first steps, first words, graduations are celebrated, but the quiet, everyday moments are just as precious. The messy art projects, the bedtime stories, the spontaneous hugs, these are the moments that create lasting memories. In the same way, your journey toward your goals is filled with small victories and moments of growth that deserve to be celebrated. When you focus solely on the end goal, you miss the beauty of the process. Celebrating the present also requires mindfulness. Mindfulness is the practice of being fully present in the moment without judgment or distraction. It's about slowing down and truly experiencing life as it unfolds. How often do we rush through our days thinking about the next task, the next goal, the next phase of life? When we do this, we miss out on the present. Mindfulness invites us to pause, to breathe, and to fully engage with the here and now. It reminds us that life is happening right now, not someday in the future. Imagine walking through a beautiful garden, but being so focused on reaching the exit that you don't notice the flowers along the way. Each bloom has its own unique beauty, but you miss it because your mind is elsewhere. Life is much the same. Celebrating the present means stopping to smell the roses, to appreciate the moments of joy, love, and growth that are unfolding right in front of you. It's about understanding that the journey itself is a gift. One of the biggest obstacles to celebrating the present is the tendency to dwell on the past or worry about the future. Regret and anxiety can steal your joy, keeping you stuck in a cycle of what if and what's next. But the present moment is the only one you truly have. The past is gone and the future is uncertain. When you let go of the past and trust in the future, you free yourself to fully experience and appreciate the now. Celebrating the present also means acknowledging your progress. It's easy to get caught up in what you haven't achieved yet, but take a moment to reflect on how far you've come. Every step forward, no matter how small, is worth celebrating. Think about the challenges you've overcome, the lessons you've learned, and the growth you've experienced. These are all victories that deserve recognition. When you celebrate your progress, you build momentum and confidence, making it easier to keep moving forward. Another key aspect of celebrating the present is learning to find joy in the simple things. You don't need a grand reason to celebrate. Sometimes the smallest moments bring the greatest joy. A cup of coffee in the morning, a kind word from a friend, a beautiful sunset, these are all opportunities to celebrate life. When you cultivate an attitude of joy and appreciation, you create a positive energy that attracts more of the same. Joy is contagious, and when you radiate it, you inspire those around you to do the same. Celebrating the present also deepens your connection with others. When you are fully present, you can engage more meaningfully with the people in your life. You listen more deeply, love more fully, and appreciate the time you have together. Relationships flourish when you are present because your presence is a gift to those you care about. It shows them that they matter, that they are valued, and that they are seen. Celebrating the present strengthens your faith. It reminds you that every moment is part of a greater plan, that even the challenges have a purpose. When you celebrate the present, you affirm your trust in God's timing and His provision. You acknowledge that you are exactly where you need to be, and that each moment is preparing you for what lies ahead. This trust brings peace, joy, and contentment, even in the midst of uncertainty. Ask yourself, when was the last time you truly celebrated the present? Not for a major accomplishment, but simply for the gift of life itself. What would happen if you chose to find joy in this moment, right now, instead of waiting for some distant future? Celebrating the present is not just an act of gratitude, it is an act of faith. It is a declaration that life is good, that you are blessed, and that every moment has value. So take a deep breath. Look around you. What can you celebrate today? The present moment is fleeting, but its impact can last a lifetime if you choose to honor it. Celebrate the small things, the everyday victories, and the beauty that surrounds you. In doing so, you will find that life becomes richer, fuller, and more meaningful. Remember, the journey is just as important as the destination, and the present is where life truly happens. As we bring this journey to a close, remember that life is not about forcing outcomes, but about aligning yourself with the divine flow of abundance, trust, and patience. Each point we've explored trusting in divine timing, letting go of control, focusing on becoming, recognizing resistance, practicing patience, having faith in abundance, and celebrating the present offers a pathway to living a life of peace, purpose, and fulfillment. You are not here to chase after what you desire with desperation, nor to fight battles that were never meant to be yours. You are here to grow, to align, and to trust that what is meant for you will come not through force, but through faith. The blessings you seek are already on their way, moving toward you at the perfect time and in the perfect way. So release the struggle. Let go of the need to control every detail. Trust in the infinite wisdom of the one who holds the universe in his hands and knows your heart better than you do. Know that even in the waiting, even in the silence, even in the moments that feel uncertain, God is working behind the scenes to orchestrate your breakthrough. The beauty of this journey is that you don't have to have all the answers. You simply need to trust, to take each step with faith, and to embrace the moment you're in. When you do this, you'll find that life unfolds in ways more beautiful, more abundant, and more fulfilling than you could have ever imagined. The message is clear: don't force anything. What is meant for you will come to you. Trust the process, let go of resistance, and step into the flow of divine grace. Your journey is unfolding exactly as it should, and your greatest blessings are just ahead. Now, take a deep breath And as you move forward, carry these truths with you. Trust, align, become, and watch as life transforms before your very eyes. Have you ever stopped to ask yourself, what truly defines me? Is it my past, my mistakes, or the fleeting opinions of others? Or is it something deeper, something eternal that lies within me waiting to be awakened? Today I invite you to pause, take a breath, and reflect on a profound truth, a truth so powerful it has the potential to reshape your life. You are not defined by what happens to you. You are defined by what you choose to become. There is a sacred power within you, a divine essence that responds not to the chaos of the world but to the clarity of your thoughts. You are not at the mercy of fate or circumstances. Instead, you are the creator of your destiny, sculpting the life you live with the chisel of your mind. But how often do we forget this? How often do we surrender our power, allowing fear, doubt, and negativity to dictate our lives? Scripture reminds us, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. These words are not mere poetry, they are the blueprint of creation. Your thoughts are the seeds you plant in the fertile soil of your mind, and your life is the harvest. If you sow seeds of doubt, fear, and defeat, your life will reflect those shadows. But if you sow seeds of faith, courage, and determination, your life will bloom with abundance and joy. Now consider this: every thought you entertain, every belief you hold is a prayer to the Creator. When you dwell on despair, you are unknowingly asking for more despair. When you fixate on lack, you are inviting lack to take root. But when you choose thoughts of hope, love, and unwavering faith, you align yourself with the divine flow of blessings. The question is, what are you praying for right now? Imagine standing at the edge of an ocean, gazing at the infinite horizon. Each wave that crashes at your feet represents a possibility, a choice you can make. Will you choose to stand still, paralyzed by the fear of the unknown? Or will you step boldly into the waters, trusting that the same power that created the waves will guide you to your destination? Let me tell you this: life does not happen to you. It happens through you. You are the channel, the vessel through which the divine expresses itself. But if your channel is clogged with doubt and negativity, how can the light flow freely? It is time to clear the clutter, to master your mind and claim your divine inheritance. It is time to declare, I am not a victim of my circumstances, I am the architect of my destiny. Pause for a moment and reflect on your current reality. Are you living a life that feels aligned with your highest self? Or are you trapped in a cycle of regret and limitation? The truth is, your life today is the result of the thoughts you entertained yesterday. And here's the good news: you hold the power to change it. Right here, right now, you can decide to think differently, to believe differently, and to live differently. But change requires courage. It demands that you confront the shadows within, that you face the lies you've told yourself for far too long. It is not easy to unlearn years of negative conditioning, to silence the inner critic that whispers you're not enough. But let me assure you, the moment you choose to step into your power, the universe will rise to meet you. Doors you never imagined will open. Strength you never knew you had will emerge. You are not your past. You are not your mistakes. You are not the voices of those who doubted you. You are what you choose to become. And today you can choose greatness. You can choose faith over fear, action over procrastination, and love over bitterness. You can choose to master your mind, and in doing so, master your life. The power of transformation lies within you, waiting to be unleashed. And as you journey with me today, I will share with you 7 profound keys to mastering your mind and becoming the person you were destined to be. These keys are not mere concepts, they are tools, spiritual tools that will empower you to rise above every limitation and step into your God-given purpose. So I ask you, are you ready to awaken to your true potential? Are you ready to declare with conviction, I am what I choose to become? Your thoughts are not random, they are sacred. Each one carries the potential to shape your reality. Think of your mind as a garden, and every thought as a seed. The garden doesn't discriminate between the seeds of flowers and weeds, it simply nurtures whatever you plant. So, ask yourself, what am I planting in the garden of my mind? Are your thoughts nurturing beauty and growth, or are they cultivating chaos and limitation? When you allow negativity to take root in your mind, it spreads like a silent poison, influencing your actions, decisions, and even the energy you bring into a room. Perhaps you've experienced moments where doubt whispered, "You can't do this," or fear shouted, "What if you fail?" Those thoughts, if left unchecked, grow into beliefs that chain you to mediocrity. But here's the truth: you have the power to guard your thoughts, to choose what enters the sacred space of your mind. Guarding your thoughts begins with awareness. How often do we operate on autopilot, allowing the chatter of the world to dictate our inner dialogue? The opinions of others, the news, social media, all these voices compete for space in your mind. But you must become the gatekeeper, discerning which thoughts align with your purpose and which do not. When a thought of doubt or fear arises, challenge it. Ask, is this thought serving me or limiting me? Is it leading me toward faith or pulling me into fear? Scripture says, "Do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind." Renewing your mind is a daily practice. It means consciously replacing negative thoughts with positive, faith-filled ones. When you wake up in the morning, instead of thinking about what could go wrong, declare what will go right. Replace "I can't" with "I am able." Replace "it's impossible" with "God, all things are possible." This practice is not just about positive thinking, it's about aligning your thoughts with divine truth. When you align your thoughts with what God says about you, that you are fearfully and wonderfully made, that you are more than a conqueror, you begin to walk in the power and authority that was always yours. But guarding your thoughts also requires discipline. It's easy to let your mind wander into worry or regret, but discipline yourself to bring your focus back to faith, back to purpose. Guarding your thoughts also means being mindful of what you expose yourself to. The conversations you engage in, the media you consume, and the people you surround yourself with all leave an imprint on your mind. Are these influences building you up or tearing you down? Protect your mind as you would protect your home. You wouldn't leave the door to your house wide open for anything or anyone to enter. Why then would you leave the door to your mind unguarded? Take a moment now and reflect. What thoughts have you allowed to dominate your mind recently? Are they empowering or disempowering? Are they pulling you closer to your dreams or further away? Remember, your mind is sacred. Guard it fiercely, for it is the birthplace of your future. Everything you wish to become, everything you dream of achieving begins with a single, vivid image in your mind. Visualization is not just a creative exercise, it is a spiritual practice, a declaration to the universe of what you intend to manifest. Think of it as planting the blueprint of your desires in the unseen realm, trusting that with faith and action, it will become your reality. Consider this: when you close your eyes and imagine the life you desire, how detailed is that vision? Do you see yourself standing confidently, achieving your goals, surrounded by peace and abundance? Or is your vision clouded by doubt, incomplete and uncertain? The clarity of your visualization directly impacts the strength of your faith. A blurry vision leads to a blurry path, but a clear and compelling vision becomes a guiding light. In the book of Genesis, we learn that creation began with God speaking light into existence. But before he spoke, there was a vision, a divine plan. In the same way, your ability to visualize is a reflection of your creative power. When you visualize, you align your inner world with your desired outer reality, creating a powerful force of attraction. Imagine for a moment the life you want to live. Close your eyes and see it in your mind's eye. Don't just see it, feel it. Feel the joy of success, the peace of freedom, the gratitude of accomplishment. Visualization is not just about seeing, it's about embodying the emotions of your desired reality. This emotional alignment is what propels your vision into manifestation. But visualization requires consistency. It's not enough to imagine your dreams once and then let them fade into the background. Make it a daily practice. Spend time each morning and night visualizing your goals with unwavering focus. See the details, the colors, the sounds, the textures. Imagine the steps you'll take, the obstacles you'll overcome, and the people who will celebrate with you. The more vivid your vision, the more real it becomes. Visualization also requires faith. There will be moments when doubt creeps in, whispering, "What if this doesn't work?" But faith silences doubt. Faith says, "Even if I can't see it yet, I believe it's already mine." Trust that God has heard your prayers, that He is working behind the scenes to bring your vision to life. Remember, faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. However, visualization alone is not enough. It must be paired with action. As you visualize, ask yourself, what step can I take today to bring this vision closer to reality? Faith without works is dead, and visualization without action is mere fantasy. Let your vision inspire you to move forward, even when the path is unclear. Remember that your vision is a sacred gift. It is a glimpse of the life God has designed for you, a calling to rise above your limitations and step into your destiny. Treasure it, nurture it, and never let go of it, no matter how impossible it may seem. For as you visualize, believe, and act, you will discover that the life you once dreamed of is not just possible, it is inevitable. Your words are not merely sounds that fade into silence, they are declarations that carry the weight of your beliefs. Every word you speak is a seed planted in the soil of your destiny. Words hold the power to create or destroy, to uplift or tear down, to ignite faith or spread fear. The question is, how are you using this incredible gift? Scripture reminds us, life and death are in the power of the tongue. These words are not a metaphor, they are a spiritual reality. When you speak words of doubt, negativity, or defeat, you align yourself with failure. But when you speak words of faith, hope, and courage, you activate the forces of heaven to work on your behalf. Imagine your words as a key, each one unlocks a door to the future you desire or closes it shut. What kind of doors are your words opening today? To speak words of power, you must first understand the connection between your thoughts and your tongue. Your words are a reflection of your inner world. If your thoughts are filled with fear, your words will echo that fear. If your mind is rooted in faith, your words will carry a conviction that moves mountains. This is why mastering your thoughts is essential, because they shape the language you use to navigate the world. But how often do we speak carelessly? How often do we say things like, I can't do this, or this is impossible, without realizing the weight those words carry? When you speak such phrases, you are not simply stating a fact, you are creating a reality. The universe or divine creation responds to the vibration of your words. If you declare failure, failure will find you. But if you declare victory, even in the face of adversity, you summon the strength and resources to overcome. Begin each day by speaking words of affirmation over your life. Say, I am strong. I am capable. I am blessed. I am aligned with my divine purpose. These declarations are not empty, they are an act of faith, a proclamation that sets the tone for your day. Speak them boldly, even if your circumstances seem to contradict them. Faith is not about what you see, it is about what you believe. And your words are the bridge between belief and manifestation. Speaking words of power also means speaking life into others. Your words have the ability to heal, encourage, and inspire those around you. When you uplift others with your speech, you not only bless them but also align yourself with a higher vibration of love and abundance. Remember, the words you speak to others are a reflection of the energy you carry within yourself. Speak kindness, and kindness will find its way back to you. Be mindful too of the words you speak in moments of frustration or fear. It is in these moments that your tongue can become a weapon against your own progress. When faced with challenges, resist the urge to complain or dwell on negativity. Instead, declare what you want to see, not what you fear. Say, this obstacle will pass. I am stronger than this challenge. Something better is coming. These words are not just positive thinking. They are spiritual declarations that reel in your focus and open doors to solutions. Remember that speaking words of power requires consistency. It is not enough to declare your intentions once and then fall silent. Make it a daily habit to speak life over your dreams, your relationships, your health, and your future. Let your words become a constant prayer, a dialogue with the divine that shapes your reality one sentence at a time. Limiting beliefs are the invisible chains that hold you back from stepping into the fullness of your potential. They are the silent whispers that tell you, you're not good enough or you'll never succeed. These beliefs, often formed in childhood or through painful experiences, create a barrier between where you are and where you're meant to be. But here's the truth, you are not bound by these chains, you have the power to break free. The first step to releasing limiting beliefs is recognizing them. Ask yourself, what beliefs are keeping me small? Perhaps you believe that success is only for others, that you are destined to struggle, or that your past mistakes define you. These beliefs may feel like facts, but they are lies dressed as truth. They are the result of years of conditioning, not the reality of who you are. Once you've identified these beliefs, challenge them. Ask, who told me this was true? Where did this belief come from? And most importantly, does it align with the divine truth of my potential? For example, if you believe you're not talented enough to achieve your dreams, remind yourself that you were created with unique gifts and a purpose that no one else can fulfill. Scripture says you are fearfully and wonderfully made. Let this truth become louder than the lies. Releasing limiting beliefs also requires forgiveness of yourself and others. Often these beliefs are rooted in past wounds, in moments where you felt rejected, abandoned, or unworthy. Holding on to these hurts only strengthens the chains. Forgive those who planted seeds of doubt in your heart, and forgive yourself for believing them. Forgiveness is not about excusing the wrongs done to you, it is about freeing yourself from their hold. Another powerful tool in releasing limiting beliefs is replacing them with empowering ones. For every negative belief, create a positive affirmation that reflects the truth of who you are. Instead of, "I'm not good enough," say, "I am capable and deserving of success." Instead of, "I'll never overcome this," declare, "I have the strength to conquer any challenge." Repetition is key. The more you affirm these truths, the more they take root in your subconscious, replacing the old narratives. Surround yourself with influences that reinforce your new beliefs. The people you spend time with, the content you consume, and the environment you immerse yourself in all play a role in shaping your mindset. Seek out mentors, books, and communities that inspire you to think bigger and believe in your potential. Remember, you are the sum of the voices you listen to most. Choose voices that uplift and empower you. Finally, releasing limiting beliefs is a spiritual journey. It requires faith that you are not defined by your past, your mistakes, or the opinions of others. It requires trust that God has a plan for your life that is greater than anything you can imagine. When doubt creeps in, anchor yourself in this truth: I am a child of God, created for greatness. Nothing can hold me back unless I allow it. As you release these beliefs, you will feel a weight lifted, a sense of freedom and possibility you may not have experienced before. The chains that once bound you will fall away, and you will stand tall, ready to embrace the life you were always meant to live. The energy you surround yourself with is one of the most influential factors in shaping your life. Like a flame, it can either ignite your passion and purpose or extinguish your hope and determination. It's often said, you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. But this principle extends beyond people. It includes the environment you immerse yourself in, the conversations you engage in, and the content you consume. Surrounding yourself with uplifting energy is not just a preference, it is a necessity for growth, peace, and success. Start by assessing the energy of those around you. Are the people in your life lifting you up or pulling you down? Do they encourage your dreams or do they plant seeds of doubt and negativity? If you consistently expose yourself to pessimistic, judgmental, or toxic individuals, their energy will begin to infiltrate your thoughts and beliefs. Over time, you may find yourself doubting your own potential or feeling drained of the motivation to move forward. Imagine this: you are climbing a steep mountain carrying a heavy backpack. Those who uplift you are like hands reaching out to lighten your load, helping you climb higher. But those who discourage or belittle you are like weights added to your backpack, making every step harder than it needs to be. Ask yourself, who in my life is helping me climb, and who is making the journey harder? It's a question that demands honesty, even if the answers are difficult to accept. It's not always easy to distance yourself from negative influences, especially if they are family, longtime friends, or colleagues. But surrounding yourself with uplifting energy doesn't always mean cutting people off completely. It means setting boundaries. You can choose how much time and energy you invest in relationships that drain you. You can decide to spend less time in conversations that revolve around gossip, complaints, or criticism, and more time engaging in discussions that inspire and challenge you in positive ways. In addition to people, consider the environment you inhabit daily. Your surroundings have a powerful impact on your mental and emotional state. Is your home a place of peace, or does it feel chaotic and overwhelming? Create an environment that uplifts your spirit, a space that reflects your goals and values. This doesn't require wealth or extravagance, it requires intentionality. Fill your space with reminders of your dreams, like vision boards, affirmations, or inspiring books. Declutter areas that make you feel stressed or stuck. Even small changes like adding plants or soft lighting can create an atmosphere that fosters calmness and creativity. The energy you expose yourself to also comes from the media and content you consume. Every word you read, every show you watch, and every song you listen to leaves an imprint on your mind and soul. Are you consuming content that motivates and uplifts you, or are you feeding on negativity and distractions? Replace mindless scrolling with intentional learning. Watch videos that inspire you, listen to podcasts that expand your perspective, and read books that challenge you to grow. Think about the conversations you participate in. Words carry energy, and repeated exposure to certain types of conversations can shape your beliefs. Do the people around you speak words of hope, faith, and encouragement? Or do they dwell on problems, failures, and fears? If you find yourself surrounded by negativity, be the one who shifts the energy. Speak life into the conversation. Redirect the focus from what's going wrong to what's possible. Often your positivity can be contagious, inspiring others to change their perspective. But uplifting energy is not just about what you take in, it's also about what you give out. You cannot expect to attract positivity if you are constantly radiating doubt, frustration, or negativity. Check your own energy. Are you someone others feel inspired to be around? Or do you unknowingly project stress and pessimism? Becoming a source of uplifting energy requires mindfulness and intention. Start by practicing gratitude daily. When you focus on what you're thankful for, you naturally shift your energy to one of abundance and joy. This shift is not only transformative for you, but also for everyone you interact with. Additionally, seek out communities that align with your values and goals. Whether it's a spiritual group, a professional network, or a creative community, surrounding yourself with like-minded individuals can be incredibly energizing. These are the people who understand your journey, who celebrate your victories and encourage you during setbacks. Their collective energy becomes a wellspring of support, reminding you that you're not alone in your pursuit of growth and purpose. It's also important to seek solitude when needed. Sometimes, the most uplifting energy comes from within when you take time to pray, meditate, or reflect. Solitude allows you to recharge, to reconnect with your inner self and with God. It's in these quiet moments that you gain clarity, strength, and renewed faith. Surrounding yourself with uplifting energy doesn't always mean being with others. It also means creating space to listen to your own soul. Remember, the energy around you directly impacts the energy within you. When you prioritize uplifting energy, you create an environment where faith, creativity, and resilience can thrive. You give yourself the gift of clarity and the strength to pursue your highest potential. And as you surround yourself with this positive energy, you'll find that it radiates outward, transforming not only your life, but also the lives of those you encounter. Take a moment to reflect. What kind of energy are you inviting into your life today? What changes can you make to ensure that your surroundings, your relationships, and your habits uplift and empower you? The answers to these questions will determine the trajectory of your journey. Choose wisely, for the energy you embrace will shape the life you create. Faith without action is like a seed never planted, full of potential but unable to grow. Acting with unwavering faith means stepping forward even when the path ahead is unclear, trusting that the ground will rise to meet you. It is the bold declaration that your belief is not just a fleeting thought, but a conviction strong enough to inspire movement. Faith, when combined with action, becomes a powerful force that transforms dreams into reality. Consider this. How many times have you hesitated because the outcome was uncertain? How many opportunities have slipped away because fear of failure outweighed your belief in success? Acting with unwavering faith requires courage. The courage to take risks, to embrace uncertainty, and to trust that what you envision in your heart will come to pass. Scripture reminds us, faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. This means that faith is not passive. It is active, a dynamic force that requires participation. Acting with faith starts with a decision. You must decide that your goals and dreams are worth pursuing even when the odds seem stacked against you. Indecision is one of the greatest enemies of faith. When you linger in doubt, you give space for fear to grow. But when you commit to a course of action, you send a signal to the universe, to God, and to yourself that you are ready to move forward. This decision, no matter how small, sets the wheels of progress in motion. Once you've decided to act, the next step is to move in alignment with your vision. Faithful action is not about random effort. It is about intentional, purposeful steps toward your goal. Break down your vision into manageable actions. Ask yourself, what can I do today that aligns with my belief in this dream? It could be as simple as making a phone call, writing down a plan, or learning a new skill. Each small step builds momentum, turning belief into tangible progress. But acting with faith does not mean the journey will be free of challenges. In fact, obstacles are almost guaranteed. These moments test the depth of your faith, pushing you to decide whether you truly believe in the vision you hold. When setbacks arise, do not retreat into doubt. Instead, remind yourself that every great achievement was born from perseverance. Obstacles are not signs that you should give up. They are opportunities to strengthen your resolve. Say to yourself, this is temporary. I will not be defeated. Another key to acting with unwavering faith is silencing the noise of doubt, both internal and external. There will be voices, perhaps even from those closest to you, questioning your decisions, doubting your capabilities, or trying to steer you away from your path. While constructive criticism can be valuable, you must learn to discern between wisdom and negativity. Guard your faith as you would a precious flame, protecting it from the winds of doubt that threaten to extinguish it. Faithful action also requires patience. We live in a world that glorifies instant results, but true success is often a slow and steady process. It's easy to grow weary when progress seems invisible, but remember, a seed takes time to sprout. During these waiting periods, continue to act, even if the results are not yet visible. Trust that every effort is like water and sunlight to the seed of your dream. Eventually, growth will break through the surface. Prayer and reflection are vital components of acting with unwavering faith. Before taking action, seek divine guidance. Ask God for wisdom, clarity, and strength. When you align your actions with divine will, you move with a sense of purpose that goes beyond personal ambition. Your actions become part of a greater plan, guided by a force far greater than yourself. This alignment gives you the confidence to persevere, knowing that you are not walking alone. It's also important to celebrate small victories along the way. Acting with faith doesn't mean waiting for the ultimate goal to feel fulfilled. Recognize and honor the progress you make, no matter how small. Each step forward is a testament to your faith and commitment. Celebrating these moments reinforces your belief in your ability to succeed and keeps your motivation strong. Finally, acting with unwavering faith means surrendering the outcome. While it's essential to work diligently and remain focused, there comes a point where you must release control and trust that God's plan will unfold as it should. This doesn't mean giving up. It means letting go of the anxiety and fear that often accompany uncertainty. Say to yourself, I've done my part, and I trust that what is meant for me will find its way to me. This surrender is an act of faith in itself, a declaration that you trust the process, even when you cannot see the full picture. Acting with unwavering faith is not just about achieving your goals. It is about becoming the person who believes deeply enough to pursue them. It is about stepping into your power, trusting your potential, and aligning your actions with the vision that God has placed in your heart. As you act with faith, you will find that doors begin to open, opportunities appear, and strength you never knew you had becomes evident. Take a moment now and reflect. What is one step I can take today that demonstrates my faith in my vision? What fear must I release to move forward with confidence? The answers to these questions are the keys to unlocking the life you were meant to live. Gratitude is one of the most transformative forces in the world. It has the power to shift your perspective, elevate your spirit, and unlock blessings that were once hidden in plain sight. When you embrace gratitude as a daily practice, you open the door to a life of abundance, peace, and joy. Gratitude is not just an emotional response, it is a choice, a deliberate act of recognizing the good in your life, no matter the circumstances. Think about this. How often do we focus on what we lack instead of what we have? It's easy to dwell on the things that didn't go our way, the opportunities we missed, or the challenges we face. But focusing on lack only magnifies it. When your attention is consumed by what's missing, you blind yourself to the blessings that already surround you. Gratitude, on the other hand, shifts your focus to abundance. But it reminds you that even in difficult times, there is always something to be thankful for. Start each day by identifying 3 things you are grateful for. They don't have to be grand or extraordinary. It could be the warmth of the sun on your skin, the laughter of a loved one, or simply the fact that you woke up to a new day. When you begin your day with gratitude, you set the tone for positivity and peace. You prime your mind to see opportunities instead of obstacles, solutions instead of problems. So you create realities and reveal the altar and not movies of your mind. Gratitude becomes the lens through which you view the world, and through that lens, everything looks brighter. But gratitude is more than a feeling, it's a spiritual discipline. Scripture reminds us to give thanks in all circumstances. Notice it doesn't say to give thanks only when things are going well. It says to give thanks in all circumstances, when life is easy and when life is hard. Why? Because gratitude is an act of faith. It is a declaration that even in the midst of challenges, you trust that God is working all things together for your good. Gratitude says, I may not understand this season, but I trust the one who holds my future. When you practice gratitude, you also align yourself with the law of attraction. What you focus on expands. If you focus on gratitude, you attract more reasons to be grateful. It's as though the universe hears your thankfulness and responds with an outpouring of blessings. Have you ever noticed that the more grateful you are, the more you find to be thankful for? This is not coincidence. It is the principle of creation. Gratitude multiplies what you already have and invites more abundance into your life. Gratitude is also a powerful antidote to negativity. It's impossible to feel grateful and bitter at the same time. When you choose gratitude, you actively reject the grip of anger, resentment, and fear. This doesn't mean ignoring your pain or pretending that challenges don't exist. It means choosing to focus on the good despite the bad. Gratitude doesn't erase difficulties, but it gives you the strength to face them with hope and resilience. Practicing gratitude also has a profound impact on your relationships. When you express appreciation for others, you strengthen the bond you share. Take a moment to reflect on the people who have supported you, loved you, and stood by you. Have you told them how much they mean to you? Gratitude is not just about feeling thankful, it's about showing it. A simple thank you can heal wounds, restore connections, and deepen relationships. Don't wait for a special occasion to express your gratitude. Make it a habit to let the people in your life know that they are valued. Another aspect of gratitude is learning to be thankful for the lessons in adversity. Life is not always easy, and there will be seasons of pain and struggle. But even in those moments, there is something to learn, something to grow from. Gratitude allows you to see challenges not as setbacks, but as stepping stones. It shifts your perspective from "why is this happening to me?" to "what is this teaching me?" When you approach life with this mindset, even your trials become opportunities for growth. To cultivate gratitude, it's helpful to keep a gratitude journal. Each day, write down the things you are thankful for. Over time, this practice trains your mind to focus on the positive, even when negativity threatens to take over. As you fill the pages with blessings, you'll begin to see patterns of goodness in your life that you may have overlooked before. A gratitude journal is more than a list. It's a testament to the abundance that already exists in your life. Gratitude also connects you to the divine. When you express thankfulness, you acknowledge the source of your blessings. You recognize that everything you have, your life, your talents, your opportunities, comes from God. Gratitude deepens your relationship with Him, fostering a sense of trust and reliance. It's a form of worship, a way of saying, I see your hand in my life, and I am thankful. This connection brings peace, even in the midst of chaos, because it reminds you that you are never alone. Finally, gratitude transforms you from the inside out. It softens your heart, calms your mind, and fills your soul with joy. When you make gratitude a daily practice, you begin to radiate positivity and light. This energy not only benefits you but also impacts everyone around you. Gratitude is contagious. When you live with a thankful heart, you inspire others to do the same, creating a ripple effect of joy and kindness. Take a moment now to reflect. What are you grateful for today? How can you express that gratitude to others, to God, and to yourself? The answers to these questions are the key to unlocking a life of abundance and peace. Embrace gratitude and watch how it transforms every corner of your life. As we bring this journey to a close, remember this: you hold the power to master your mind and shape your destiny. Each thought, word, and action you choose is a building block of the life you are creating. You are not a victim of circumstance, you are the architect of your reality. The power to transform your life lies within you, waiting to be unlocked through faith, focus, and intentionality. Think of the truths we've explored together. Guard your thoughts like the sacred treasures they are, for they set the foundation of your reality. Visualize the life you desire, seeing it so clearly in your mind that it feels as real as the ground beneath your feet. Speak words of power and faith, declaring blessings over your life and silencing the doubts that try to take root. Release the limiting beliefs that have chained you to fear and step boldly into the freedom of possibility. Surround yourself with uplifting energy, people, environments, and influences that lift you higher and align you with your purpose. Act with unwavering faith, knowing that every step you take in alignment with your vision is a step toward divine fulfillment. And above all, embrace gratitude as your daily compass, unlocking joy, peace, and abundance in every moment. This is not just a motivational speech, it is a call to action. The principles you've heard today are not abstract ideas, they are tools waiting for you to use them. But tools are only as powerful as the hands that wield them. The question is, will you use them? Will you rise above doubt, fear, and negativity to claim the life you were meant to live? Mastering your mind is not a one-time decision, it's a daily commitment. Each day presents new opportunities to choose faith over fear, positivity over negativity, and purpose over procrastination. Some days will feel easier than others, and that's okay. What matters is that you keep showing up for yourself, knowing that every small effort brings you closer to the person you are becoming. As you step forward from this moment, let this truth echo in your heart: I am not what happens to me, I am what I choose to become. Say it aloud. Declare it to yourself and to the world. Write it down and carry it with you as a reminder that your mind is the most powerful tool you possess. With faith, discipline, and determination, there is no limit to what you can achieve. You are capable. You are strong. You are divinely equipped to fulfill your purpose. The life you desire is not a distant dream, it is within reach. But the journey begins with a choice. Today, let this choice be your declaration: I will master my mind. I will become the person I was created to be. The world is waiting for your greatness. Step into it boldly and watch how the power of your mind transforms not only your life, but the lives of those around you. Your journey starts now. Make it extraordinary. What if I told you the most profound secret of life was hidden within you all along? What if the mysteries that philosophers pondered, the truths that sages sought, and the revelations that saints proclaimed were waiting, not in the heavens, but in the quiet recesses of your own soul? Tonight I invite you to journey beyond the boundaries of what you see, touch and hear into the infinite depths of the unseen where the true essence of God resides. Close your eyes for a moment and consider, who are you? Not your name, not your occupation, not even your physical form. Who are you when all the labels fall away and silence speaks louder than words? Could it be that the answer lies in something far greater, far more eternal than anything the world has ever shown you? The secret I speak of is not hidden in ancient texts alone, nor is it locked away in the minds of a chosen few. It is alive, vibrant, and pulsing in every breath you take. Yet, like the air we breathe, it often goes unnoticed. This is not a secret to be whispered from one to another. It is an awakening, a revelation that shatters the illusions of separation and unveils the divine creative power within you. In sacred texts, we are told God is within you. But how often do we live as if this were true? How often do we recognize that the power to shape, create, and transform our lives lies not in the hands of others, nor in the circumstances that surround us, but in the quiet yet potent imagination that dwells within? Imagine for a moment a seed buried deep in the earth. To the untrained eye, it appears as nothing more than a speck lost in the darkness. Yet within that tiny seed lies the blueprint of a towering tree. Within its silence, a force stirs, unseen but undeniable, ready to break forth into life. Could it be that this is the very nature of your own imagination, a seed planted by the divine, waiting for you to recognize its power? And what of the challenges, the failures, and the heartbreaks? Are they merely cruel twists of fate? Or could they be the potter's hand shaping you, the clay, into a masterpiece? If you dared to believe that every struggle was a lesson in disguise, every loss a doorway to infinite possibility, how would your life transform? Now consider the times when your heart longed for something so deeply it consumed your thoughts. Perhaps it was a dream, a goal, or a love that seemed out of reach. In those moments, was it not your imagination that painted vivid pictures of what could be? And even if those dreams felt distant, was there not a spark of hope, a whisper of faith, that reminded you of your own divine connection? The world around us may often seem chaotic, but what if it is merely a reflection of the worlds we build within? If your imagination is the canvas and your thoughts the brush, what masterpiece are you creating? What colors do you choose when life hands you the palette? Tonight I challenge you to embrace a truth that has the power to reshape your existence. The secret of God is not in the stars, but in the simple act of imagining. Every thought you nurture, every belief you hold, every vision you sustain, they are the building blocks of your reality. This is not mere philosophy. It is the fabric of creation itself. You are not separate from God, nor is God separate from you. To understand this is to awaken to your own potential. To know this is to unlock the door to infinite possibilities. And once you see it, once you feel it, you cannot go back to the way things were. For to recognize the divine within yourself is to realize that you have always been and will always be a co-creator with the eternal. Pause for a moment and reflect. If all that you imagine, believe, and feel could come to life, what would you choose to create? Would you live in fear, or would you dare to dream boldly? Would you remain confined by doubt, or would you step into the vastness of your own divine power? The choice is yours. The secret is yours. And tonight I will share with you 7 profound keys to unlocking this secret, the secret of God that dwells within you. Let us journey together into this sacred truth. When was the last time you stopped to truly consider the power of your imagination? Not as a fleeting thought or daydream, but as the sacred force that shapes your life. The truth is, your imagination is not just a mental faculty, it is the divine power of creation itself, alive and active within you. It is the spark of God, the essence of infinite potential, and the bridge between the unseen and the seen. To recognize this is to unlock a truth that has been whispered through the ages. You are far more powerful than you have been led to believe. Look around you. Everything you see, the chair you sit on, The device you hold, the walls that surround you once existed solely in someone's imagination. Before it became a tangible reality, it was conceived in the invisible realm of thought. What does that tell us? That the world is not created by chance, but by intention. It is shaped, molded, and brought into existence by those who dare to dream, to believe, and to act on the visions within their minds. Scripture speaks of this divine power in profound ways. As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. But how often do we dismiss our thoughts as inconsequential? How often do we allow fear, doubt, and negativity to take root in the fertile soil of our imagination? What we fail to realize is that every thought is a seed, and every seed has the potential to grow into the reality we experience. If we are not mindful of what we plant, we may find ourselves harvesting a life we never intended to create. Imagine for a moment that your imagination is a garden and you are the gardener. What are you planting? Are you nurturing seeds of love, abundance, and possibility? Or are you allowing the weeds of fear and limitation to overtake the soil? The beauty of this divine power is that it does not discriminate. It simply responds. It will bring forth whatever is sown, whether it is joy or sorrow, success or struggle. The question is, are you willing to take responsibility for the harvest? Consider the lives of those who have changed the world: visionaries, inventors, and spiritual leaders. What set them apart? Was it their circumstances, their resources, or their connections? Or was it their ability to see beyond what is and imagine what could be? They recognized the divine power within them and dared to use it. They understood that imagination is not a passive force, but an active partnership with the Creator. And so they dreamed boldly, envisioned clearly, and persisted unwaveringly until their visions then became reality. Now pause and reflect. What would your life look like if you truly believed in the power of your imagination? How would you act if you knew beyond a shadow of a doubt that your thoughts have the power to shape your destiny? Would you continue to dwell on what is wrong, or would you focus on what is possible? Would you let fear dictate your choices, or would you rise above it, knowing that you have the power to create a new reality? The greatest tragedy is not the challenges we face, but the potential we leave untapped. To recognize your imagination as divine power is to awaken to your true self, a creator, a co-author of your life, endowed with the very essence of God. This is not a mere idea. It is a truth waiting to be realized, a secret waiting to be lived. So, start today. Begin to see your imagination for what it truly is, a sacred gift, a divine force, and the key to unlocking a life of limitless possibilities. Let go of the doubts that tell you it is impossible. Dismiss the voices that say you are not worthy. Trust in the power that dwells within you, and dare to dream with the boldness of one who knows they are creating alongside the infinite. Have you ever wondered why some dreams remain unfulfilled, while others seem to manifest effortlessly? The answer lies in the bridge between desire and faith. Desire is the spark that ignites your imagination, but faith is the fuel that sustains it. Without faith, desire is like a flame without oxygen. It flickers briefly and fades. But when desire is aligned with unwavering faith, it becomes a force that no obstacle can withstand. Faith is not mere wishful thinking. It is not a fleeting hope or a passive belief that something might happen. Faith is a knowing, a deep, unshakable conviction that what you imagine is already real. It is the evidence of things unseen, the substance of things hoped for. And it is this faith, anchored in the power of your imagination, that brings your desires into being. But how do we cultivate such faith? How do we move from doubting what we cannot see to believing in it so completely that it becomes real? The answer lies in practice. Just as a muscle grows stronger with exercise, faith grows stronger with use. Each time you choose to trust in your imagination rather than your circumstances, you are building the foundation of faith. Each time you persist in your vision despite what the world tells you, you are aligning your desires with the divine. Consider the story of a farmer who plants a seed in the ground. He does not dig it up every day to see if it is growing. He does not doubt that it will sprout, even though he cannot see it beneath the soil. Instead, he nurtures it, waters it, and waits patiently, trusting that the harvest will come. This is the essence of faith, acting as if what you desire is already on its way, even when there is no physical evidence to prove it. Now ask yourself, do you trust the seeds you have planted in your imagination? Do you nurture them with thoughts of possibility and belief? Or do you sabotage them with doubt and fear? Faith is not passive, it is active. It requires you to speak, act, and think as if your desires are already fulfilled. It requires you to dwell in the feeling of your wish fulfilled, to embody the state of having, rather than longing. And what about the obstacles that arise along the way? They are not signs that your faith is misplaced, but opportunities to strengthen it. Every challenge, every delay, and every setback is a chance to reaffirm your belief in the unseen. It is a chance to stand firm in the truth that what you desire is already yours, simply waiting to unfold in its perfect time. Begin today to align your desires with faith. Whatever you seek, be it love, success, peace, or abundance, imagine it fully and believe in it completely. Trust that the power within you is greater than any external force. And remember, faith is not about waiting for proof. It is about living as though the proof is already here. With faith, there is no limit to what you can create. For when desire and faith are united, they become the unstoppable force through which the divine works in your life. Trust in this process and you will discover that the secret of God is not something to be found, it is something to be lived. Imagine for a moment that your greatest desire has already been fulfilled. Not just as a possibility or a future hope, but as a reality in this very moment. What would it feel like to live in that state? What would your thoughts, emotions, and actions reflect if you knew, beyond a shadow of a doubt, that your dream was already yours? This is the essence of living from the end, stepping into the mental and emotional state of your desire fulfilled, as though it is happening right now. The power of living from the end lies in its ability to align your inner world with the reality you wish to create. It is not about pretending or ignoring the present, it is about choosing to dwell in a higher state of consciousness where your desires are not just imagined but experienced as truth. This is the secret that unlocks the door to manifestation. You must become the person who already has what you seek. Scripture says, whatever you ask for in prayer, believe that you have received it, and it will be yours. Notice the instruction. Believe that you have received it. Not that you will receive it someday, but that you already have it now. This principle is not just spiritual wisdom, it is a law of creation. When you embody the feeling of your desire fulfilled, you set into motion forces greater than you can comprehend, orchestrating events and circumstances to bring your vision to life. But how do you live from the end when the evidence around you seems to contradict your desire? How do you hold the conviction of your dream in a world that constantly reminds you of its absence? The answer is simple yet profound. You must train your mind to see beyond appearances and trust in the unseen. Your senses may tell you one story, but your imagination tells another. Which will you choose to believe? Living from the end requires a shift in perspective. Instead of focusing on the lack or the obstacles, you focus on the fulfillment. Instead of asking, how will this happen? You affirm, it has already happened. This mental discipline is not about ignoring reality, but about creating a new one. It is about stepping into the role of the creator rather than remaining a passive observer. Consider the example of a skilled actor preparing for a role. They do not merely recite lines, they embody the character, adopting their mannerisms, thoughts, and emotions. They become the person they are portraying, and in doing so, they bring the character to life. Similarly, when you live from the end, you step into the identity of the person who already has what you desire. You think, feel, and act as they would, and in doing so, you bridge the gap between imagination and reality. Pause for a moment and reflect. What would your life look like if your dream were already fulfilled? How would you wake up in the morning? What thoughts would fill your mind as you go about your day? How would you interact with others? These are the questions you must answer. for they hold the key to aligning your inner state with your desired outcome. Living from the end is not about waiting for circumstances to change, it is about changing your consciousness. It is about anchoring yourself in the reality you wish to experience and allowing that reality to unfold naturally. The process may not always be linear, and there may be moments of doubt, but the principle remains the same. Persist in the feeling of your desire fulfilled, and it will come to pass. This is the power of faith in action, the bridge between the seen and the unseen. When you live from the end, you declare to the universe that your dream is not a distant hope, but a present reality. You claim your divine inheritance and step into the role of a conscious creator, knowing that what you imagine and believe is already yours. Take a moment to listen not to the noise around you, but to the quiet voice within. What does it say? Is it uplifting, hopeful, and empowering? Or is it filled with doubt, fear, and negativity? Your inner conversations are the scriptwriters of your life. They shape your beliefs, influence your actions, and ultimately determine the reality you experience. If you wish to change your world, you must first change the dialogue that plays out in your mind. The importance of guarding your inner conversations cannot be overstated. Every thought you entertain, every word you silently speak carries a vibrational quality that resonates with the universe. These inner dialogues act as seeds planted in the fertile soil of your subconscious mind, and they will grow into the experiences of your life. The question is, are you planting seeds of faith and possibility, or are you sowing doubt and limitation? Scripture teaches us, out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. But before words reach the tongue, they originate in the mind. What you allow to dwell in your thoughts becomes the foundation of your reality. If your inner conversations are filled with criticism, worry, or despair, they will manifest in your external circumstances. Conversely, if they are rooted in love, gratitude, and confidence, they will bring forth a life of abundance and joy. Guarding your inner conversations begins with awareness. Pay attention to the stories you tell yourself throughout the day. Are they stories of possibility, or do they reinforce limitations? Are they aligned with your highest aspirations, or do they keep you tethered to old patterns? Awareness is the first step, for you cannot change what you do not acknowledge. Once you become aware of your inner dialogue, you must take deliberate steps to reshape it. This is not about suppressing negative thoughts, but about replacing them with affirmations of truth. When doubt arises, counter it with faith. When fear speaks, respond with courage. When negativity creeps in, flood your mind with gratitude. This process requires vigilance, for the mind has a tendency to revert to familiar patterns. But with practice, you can train your inner voice to speak words that align with your desires. Imagine your inner conversations as a constant prayer. Every word you think is a request. Every emotion you feel is a statement of faith. The universe is listening, responding to the vibration you emit. If you wish to experience joy, speak joyfully. If you desire success, think successful thoughts. If you long for love, let your inner dialogue reflect love. Your words have power, use them wisely. One of the most effective ways to guard your inner conversations is to immerse yourself in a state of gratitude. Gratitude shifts your focus from lack to abundance, from fear to trust. It opens your heart and mind to the possibilities around you and strengthens your connection to the divine. Begin each day by giving thanks for what you have and end each night by expressing gratitude for the blessings yet to come. This simple practice can transform your inner world and by extension your outer reality. Reflect on this. What would your life look like if your inner conversations were filled with unwavering faith and gratitude? How would it feel to replace every doubt with assurance, every fear with confidence? The choice is yours. You are the author of your inner dialogue, and with each thought, you are writing the story of your life. Guard your inner conversations as you would guard a treasure, for they are the keys to the kingdom within you. Choose words that uplift, inspire, and align with your highest vision. Speak to yourself as you would to a beloved friend, with kindness, encouragement, and hope. And as you do, you will find that the outer world begins to reflect the beauty and power of the dialogue, the deepen. For as within, so without, this is the eternal law of creation. Life often presents us with challenges that seem insurmountable. These moments of struggle can feel like barriers standing between us and our dreams. Yet, what if these very challenges were not obstacles, but opportunities in disguise? What if they were the potter's hands shaping us into the person we are meant to become? To transform challenges into opportunities is to see life through the eyes of faith and imagination, recognizing that every difficulty carries within it the seed of growth and possibility. When faced with hardship, it is natural to question why. Why me? Why now? Why this? But the question we should be asking is not why, but what. What can this moment teach me? What strength can I uncover within myself? What new path is this challenge pointing me toward? Shifting from why to what allows us to step out of victimhood and into empowerment, reclaiming our role as creators of our own reality. Scripture tells us all things work together for good for those who love God. Notice it says all things, not just the pleasant, the joyful, or the easy. Even the pain, the setbacks, and the disappointments are part of the divine tapestry being woven in your life. Each thread, no matter how dark, contributes to the beauty of the whole. To transform challenges into opportunities is to trust this truth, even when the pattern is not yet visible. Imagine for a moment that you are an alchemist. In the ancient art of alchemy, practitioners sought to turn base metals into gold, transforming the ordinary into the extraordinary. Your challenges are the base metals of your life, unrefined, unpolished, but full of potential. The question is, will you let them remain as they are, or will you use the power of your imagination and faith to transform them into something greater? One of the keys to this transformation lies in perspective. A challenge is only as daunting as the meaning we assign to it. Two people can face the same situation and experience it in entirely different ways. One may see it as a curse, while the other views it as a blessing in disguise. The difference lies in their perspective. By choosing to see challenges as opportunities for growth, we reclaim our power and align ourselves with the creative force within. Consider the story of a sculptor working with a block of marble. To the untrained eye, it may seem like an unyielding piece of stone. But the sculptor sees something more, a masterpiece waiting to be revealed. With each strike of the chisel, the rough edges are smoothed and the hidden beauty emerges. Life's challenges are the chisel, and you are the marble. Though the process may be painful, it is shaping you into the masterpiece you were always meant to be. But how do we practically transform challenges into opportunities? The first step is acceptance. Resistance only prolongs suffering and keeps us stuck in the problem. Acceptance is not about resignation, it is about acknowledging what is so we can move forward with clarity and purpose. Once we accept the challenge, we can begin to ask the right questions. What can I learn from this? How can this make me stronger? What opportunities are hidden within this difficulty? The next step is imagination. Use the power of your mind to envision a positive outcome, even when circumstances seem bleak. See yourself overcoming the challenge, not as a distant possibility, but as a present reality. Imagine the growth, the strength, and the wisdom you will gain from this experience. Let this vision guide your actions, inspiring you to take steps toward resolution and transformation. Faith is the final ingredient in this alchemical process. Faith is what allows us to trust in the unseen, to believe in possibilities that our senses cannot yet confirm. It is the bridge between the challenge and the opportunity, the catalyst that turns trials into triumphs. With faith, we can face any difficulty, knowing that it is not the end but a stepping stone to something greater. Pause and reflect. How have past challenges shaped you? Can you see how the trials you once resented have contributed to your growth? What if the difficulties you face today are doing the same, preparing you for a future that is brighter and more abundant than you can imagine? When we view challenges through this lens, they lose their power to defeat us and become powerful allies in our journey of transformation. Another key to transforming challenges into opportunities is gratitude. It may seem counterintuitive to give thanks for difficulties, but gratitude shifts our focus from lack to abundance. When we thank the divine for the lessons hidden within our struggles, we open ourselves to receive their blessings. Gratitude transforms our mindset, allowing us to see possibilities where before we saw only obstacles. Surround yourself with those who inspire and uplift you. Challenges can feel isolating, but you are never truly alone. Seek out mentors, friends, and communities that remind you of your strength and potential. Their support and encouragement can be a powerful catalyst for transformation, helping you to rise above the difficulties and see the opportunities they contain. The greatest gift of a challenge is not the external victory, but the internal transformation. It is not about what you achieve, but who you become in the process. Every difficulty is an invitation to grow, to deepen your faith, and to step into a greater version of yourself. When you embrace this truth, you will find that life's challenges are not something to be feared, but something to be celebrated. For they are the potter's hands, shaping you into a vessel of strength, beauty, and purpose. Time is a concept that often binds us, keeping us tethered to the past or anxiously awaiting the future. We mourn what has been, worry about what is to come, and in doing so often miss the most profound truth. The only moment that truly exists is now. To embrace the eternal now is to step into the fullness of life, where the divine power within you operates freely, unburdened by regret or fear. It is in this present moment that creation begins, where imagination takes shape, and where the secret of God reveals itself. Consider this: the past exists only as a memory, a collection of thoughts that live in your mind. The future, no matter how vividly you envision it, remains a projection, a product of your imagination. The present moment, however, is alive. It is vibrant, dynamic, and filled with infinite possibilities. It is the canvas upon which you can paint your desires, the stage upon which you can act out the life you wish to live. When you embrace the now, you align yourself with the divine energy that creates all things. Scripture reminds us, "Be still and know that I am God." This stillness is not merely an absence of movement, but a deep awareness of the present moment. It is in this stillness that you connect with the divine within you, where the chatter of the mind quiets and the voice of intuition speaks. Yet how often do we resist this stillness, filling our days with distractions that pull us away from the now? We rush through life, chasing goals and avoiding discomfort, unaware that everything we seek is already here, waiting for us to notice. To embrace the eternal now is to release the weight of the past. Too often we carry the burdens of yesterday, replaying mistakes, reliving pain, and holding on to guilt. But the past has no power over you unless you give it permission. Each new moment is an opportunity to choose differently, to think differently, and to imagine a new reality. The only place where you can effect change is here and now. By clinging to the past, you deny yourself the freedom to create the future you desire. Similarly, the future often traps us in cycles of worry and fear. We plan, prepare, and strategize, trying to control outcomes that are not yet here. But in doing so, we overlook the power of the present. The future is born in the now, shaped by the thoughts and feelings you cultivate in this moment. If you wish to create a bright future, you must plant seeds of faith, love, and possibility today. Worrying about what might happen only distracts you from the work of creation happening in the now. Imagine your life as a flowing river. The past is the water that has already flowed downstream, and the future is the water yet to come. The present is where you stand, the point where the current is strongest and most alive. You cannot change the direction of the river by clinging to the water behind you, nor can you grasp the water that lies ahead. But you can influence its flow by how you engage with the current here and now. This is the essence of embracing the eternal now, being fully present, fully alive, and fully aware of your power to create. But how do we practice living in the now when the mind constantly pulls us away? The key lies in mindfulness, the art of bringing your attention back to the present moment. It begins with simple awareness of your breath, your body, your surroundings. When thoughts of the past or future arise, observe them without judgment and gently return your focus to the now. This practice, though simple, is transformative. It grounds you in the reality of the moment, where your true power resides. Gratitude is another powerful tool for embracing the now. When you focus on what you are thankful for in this moment, you shift your attention away from what is lacking. Gratitude opens your heart and mind, allowing you to see the abundance that already exists in your life. It anchors you in the present, reminding you that each moment is a gift rich with potential. Faith also plays a crucial role in embracing the eternal now. To trust in the divine plan, even when the path is unclear, is to live in harmony with the present moment. Faith frees you from the need to control every detail, allowing you to surrender to the flow of life. It reminds you that the seeds you plant today will bear fruit in their appointed time, and there is no need to rush or force the process. Reflect for a moment. What would it feel like to let go of the past and stop worrying about the future? How would your life change if you embraced the now as the only reality? When you live in the present, you discover a freedom that transcends circumstances. You realize that peace, joy, and fulfillment are not things to be found out there, but states of being available to you right here, right now. To embrace the eternal now is to align yourself with the rhythm of creation. It is to step into the flow of life, trusting that everything is unfolding perfectly, even if you cannot see the whole picture. This is not a passive acceptance, but an active engagement with the present moment, where your imagination, faith, and actions come together to shape your reality. The secret of God lies not in the distant past or the far-off future, but in the eternal now. When you recognize this, you unlock a power that has always been within you, a power to create, to transform, and to live a life of purpose and abundance. The question is, are you willing to let go of yesterday, release your fears of tomorrow, and step fully into the divine power of this moment? The choice is yours, and the time is now. There is a divine rhythm to life, a perfect order in which everything unfolds according to its time. Yet how often do we find ourselves impatient, questioning the timing of events and doubting the process? To trust the process of unfolding is to embrace the wisdom of the unseen, to believe that every step, every delay, and every detour is part of a greater plan. It is an act of surrender, not to resignation, but to faith in the divine power within you that knows the way, even when the path is unclear. You think of a seed planted in the soil. From the moment it is sown, the seed begins a journey of transformation. Beneath the surface, unseen to the eye, a miracle is taking place. Roots spread, seeking nourishment, while the sprout reaches for the light. But this process cannot be rushed. If you were to dig up the seed every day to check its progress, you would disrupt its growth. The seed requires time, patience, and trust to become the tree it was destined to be. And so it is with your desires. When you plant the seeds of your dreams in the fertile soil of your imagination, you must trust that they will grow. You may not see immediate results, but that does not mean nothing is happening. The divine process is always at work, orchestrating the circumstances, people, and opportunities needed to bring your vision to life. Doubt and impatience, however, can act like weeds, choking the growth of your dreams. To trust the process is to nurture your desires with faith, knowing that they will unfold in their appointed time. Scripture reminds us, for everything there is a season and a time for every purpose under heaven. This timeless truth teaches us that life is a series of seasons, some for planting, others for waiting, and still others for harvesting. Each season serves a purpose, and none can be skipped or rushed. The waiting season, though often the most challenging, is where faith is tested and strengthened. It is where we learn patience, resilience, and the art of surrender. But what does it mean to surrender? It does not mean giving up or settling for less. Surrender is an active trust in the divine process, a willingness to release control and allow life to unfold as it must. It is saying, I may not understand the timing, but I trust that it is perfect. I may not see the full picture, but I know that it is beautiful. This trust creates space for miracles, for when you let go of the need to control, you open yourself to receive. Reflect on the stories of those who achieved great things. Rarely was their journey a straight line. There were setbacks, failures, and moments of doubt. Yet in hindsight, every challenge and delay served a purpose, shaping them into the people they needed to become. Consider the life of Joseph, sold into slavery by his brothers and imprisoned for a crime he did not commit. It would have been easy for him to despair, to believe that his dreams of greatness were lost. But Joseph trusted the process, and in time he rose to a position of power, fulfilling the vision he had carried in his heart. So, how do you trust the process when life feels uncertain or unfair? The first step is to focus on what you can control: your thoughts, your feelings, and your actions. You may not be able to dictate the timing or the details, but you can choose how you respond. By cultivating a mindset of faith and gratitude, you align yourself with the flow of life, making it easier for the divine process to unfold. Gratitude, in particular, is a powerful tool for trusting the process. When you give thanks for what you have and for what is yet to come, you shift your focus from lack to abundance. Gratitude reminds you that every moment is a gift, even the challenging ones. It strengthens your faith and keeps you grounded in the present, where the seeds of your dreams are taking root. Another key to trusting the process is to embrace the lessons embedded in every experience. Challenges are not obstacles, they are opportunities for growth. Delays are not denials, they are preparations for something greater. When you view life through this lens, you begin to see the hidden blessings in every situation. You understand that the process is not just about achieving a goal, but about becoming the person who is ready to receive it. Patience is also essential. In a world that values instant gratification, patience can feel like a lost art. Yet, it is in the waiting that true transformation occurs. Patience allows you to stay steady and focused, even when the outcome is not yet visible. It teaches you to trust in divine timing, knowing that what is meant for you will not pass you by. Faith, patience, and gratitude are powerful, but they must be paired with action. Trusting the process does not mean sitting idly by, waiting for things to happen. It means taking inspired steps toward your vision, even when the path is unclear. It means showing up every day with a heart full of faith and a mind set on possibility. Action fuels the process, giving life to your imagination and bridging the gap between the seen and the unseen. Pause and ask yourself, where in your life are you struggling to trust the process? Are you clinging to control, doubting the timing, or fearing the unknown? What would it feel like to release those fears and surrender to the flow of life? Trusting the process requires courage, but it is a courage rooted in the knowledge that you are never alone. The same divine power that planted the seed of your desire within you is working tirelessly to bring it to fruition. Remember that the process of unfolding is not just about the destination, but about the journey. Every step you take, every challenge you face, and every moment of waiting is part of the masterpiece being created. Trusting the process is about finding joy in the now, embracing the lessons, and believing in the infinite possibilities that lie ahead. To trust the process of unfolding is to live in harmony with the divine rhythm of life. It is to walk forward with faith, even when the way is unclear, knowing that each step brings you closer to your dreams. It is to let go of doubt and embrace the truth that the universe is always conspiring in your favor. When you trust the process, you align yourself with the creative power of God, allowing miracles to unfold in ways you could never have imagined. As we reflect on the profound truths explored tonight, let us remember that the secret of God is not something distant or hidden. It is alive within each of us. The power to imagine, to believe, to create, and to transform is the divine essence that connects us to the infinite. Through the recognition of this power, the alignment of our desires with unwavering faith, and the courage to live from the end, we unlock the boundless potential that resides within.